And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game. You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. He's going to have to find something, Frank, other than the rough.
Yeah, there's hitting it right and there's hitting it left, but when you've got to go out of both barrels, the game becomes hard.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank, this one's headed way right.
And rough trees, all sorts of problems on that right side.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5. His second shot. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. That's a bit offline in the rough. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Frank, not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the par 5.
No, but Rich, to drop a shot here would really set him backwards.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
Setting up for an approach shot here.
Yeah, Rory's like a car that just has an extra gear. You know, if you've got five-speed gearbox, Rory's got 6. If you've got a 6-speed gearbox, he's got 7.
He's the souped-up Ferrari or Lamborghini. He can go. He's Formula One. Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
No, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Settles in over the putt. Bang, right in the back of the cup, Frank.
Unbelievable.
See if Spieth can knock this in for his par.
It's at sneaky distance.
There you have it. Well done. Great putt. 11 feet away. You can see the look of disgust, and it's justifiable. It's a double bogey. This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 4th hole seems to have really put him off his game. On to the 5th hole now, Frank, and this is really where the old course starts to test the golfers. It's just over 200 yards. You happy with a par 3 here?
You are. This is one of the toughest shots, certainly on the outward 9. There's 4 bunkers of this par 3. You don't really worry about the one.
This is EA Sports coming your way. Frank, through the years, there have been some great winners at the Open Championship played at Royal Troon.
Well, just in recent history, remember Mark Kalkovecchia in the playoff with Wayne Grady and Greg Norman. There was also Todd Hamilton when he beat Ernie Els in the 4-hole playoff. And back in 1996, Justin Leonard was to win his Open Championship.
Tom Watson also won an Open Championship here. Tom Weiskopf, his only major, that was 1973. The great Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke, they all won at Royal Troon. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
That is classy.
They have a chance of going in.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Even par early on. Frank, as we step to the tee here at the par 4 second hole, just 391 yards, but a classic case on links golf where the bunkering here is just so much different than a classic American layout.
And it's also where a change of strategy will certainly help. Remember, the ball's going to run much further here in Scotland than what it will in America. So you can use a shorter club and let that ball to run out to the normal distance you would hit it, perhaps with 2 or 3 clubs more. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. He'll need to be strong with this. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Just a shade over par, +1. Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is. The reason why, there's a burn that cuts through from the 16th hole all the way across the golf course through the middle of the 3rd. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind.
Frank, ball is in the rough here. What are the problems on this next shot?
Well, this is really where the skill level comes in. A good par, this is where the good player separates himself from the rest.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Birdie try up next. Rory Mcilroy looking to take advantage with this putt. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
For par. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Here's the first par 5 on the golf course. It's the 4th hole. Frank, how good of a scoring opportunity is this?
Certainly one of the best opportunities on the front side. There's 3 bunkers, but really the one that you focus on is the one on the right. If you can carry that, that's certainly the one to take on, because that ball will kick a lot further down the fairway. And sometimes you can be left with just a mid-iron into this green.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. So, 3rd shot now for Rory McIlroy. On the green in regulation. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Locked in on the read and the speed. All right, no damage done. Stays at 1 over par with that putt. Now, the first par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 5th hole. A little bit more than 200 yards. What's the challenge here, Frank?
A lot depends on the breeze. Plus, you remember, you've got to allow for the roll and the bounce here. So anything pitching on the front of the green, let that ball release or kick towards the middle and back of the screen. This one's going left, Rich.
Not knocking down the flag stick here, but looks as though it will find the green. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
I'd be very happy with that one.
Yeah, lag putt, I mean, really, it's unrealistic to try and make those. So anytime you can two-putt from there is a good result.
Good, solid par right there. Well, Frank, typically when you step up to a par 5, you're thinking birdie, maybe even eagle. But this is 601 yards, a behemoth. It's long, and you can get punished for a mistake here, can't you?
It used to be the longest par 5 on the Open Championship rotor. But remember, there's humps and hollows that can always be used in your advantage, to your advantage. If you aim it down the right side, the ball normally kicks back towards the middle of the fairway. So that's the side to be aiming on. Second shot.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Frank, not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the par 5.
No, but Rich, to drop a shot here would really set him backwards.
Pretty good shot right there. Not a gimme, but well within his range. So frustrating sometimes on the greens, isn't it? Drop shot here at the 6th. Slipping just a bit, another bogey, and now 2 over par. Frank, we're moving inland now, and what are we facing here at this par 4 7th hole?
Just a dogleg to the right, ideally just a little cut off the tee. Rich, do you think we should tell him this fairway out there?
Yeah, he's been in the rough all day long. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Needs birdies at some point, but will take the par to stay at 2 over. All right, Frank, as we arrive at the par 3 8th, the only thing I can think of is if a 71-year-old guy can make an ace here, well then, so can our gamers.
Well, they certainly can. At 123 yards, well, you think it'd be, why shouldn't it be called the postage stamp? Go with too much club, it's one you'll MO.
And that one rolls just into the rough.
Now you have to decide whether or not that ball's going to fly or not.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Frank, the 9th hole, 423 yards, not especially long by today's standards. You're looking to make birdie here, or you happy to make a par and move on to the back 9?
Well, there's certainly a chance for birdie. One of the hardest things about the 9th is the raised green. And it's sort of, there's 2 tiers here, just the top level. If that pin is on the top level, then you would certainly walk away with 4 very happily.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You'll need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
And he's made it onto the green now. Bit unfortunate, loses a shot here with that bogey. Front nine is in the rearview mirror here at Royal Troon. Rich Lerner pleased as always to be alongside Frank Novello, who played Royal Troon in the Open Championship twice. This back nine getting underway, and we start with the 10th hole, and Frank, a blind tee shot.
Yeah, from the championship tees, the hole bends to the left. Really, you don't want to hit the ball more than 280, 290 yards. Otherwise, you'll run out of fairway. From there, just a short iron.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. He's hit the green, but his work is by no means finished. A difficult putt coming up from about 25 feet. Oh, I thought he had that. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Frank, you come to an Open Championship and you expect to hear the term gorse. You see it here on the 11th hole. If you do end up in the gorse, what can you possibly do to get out?
Well, anything you can. A lot of the times it's an unplayable lie, but if you remember back 2004, Ernie Els tried to play a ball when it was suspended about 3 feet off the ground and managed to flick it out of the sort of the thorny gorse.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Wow, Frank, he did well just to get it on the green from that lie.
I didn't think that was doable. It's that sneaky distance.
Like Ben Crenshaw right there, just so smooth.
I've played before.
Frank, how do you size up the 12th hole here at Royal Troon?
Well, first look at 430 yards, you'd think it'd be a rather easy par 4. But that's not really the issue. The issue is gorse right and left.
Excellent looking shot here. Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Now playing the second here at the par 4. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Boy, that hurts right there, Frank.
Yeah, he's got to knuckle down now, though, because, you know, we've seen it before, Rich. 2 putts turn into 3, 4. So make sure you can limit the damage here.
Frank, on paper, 13 seems pretty straightforward, but it's not that simple, is it?
No, very stringent tee shot. Gorse right and left, plus a little sort of mound with some rough on down the right side. So really, you've got to hit the ball down, not just the fairway, but the left side of the fairway. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. This can be a cruel game at times. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. It has been frustrating. 6 over par already. Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of this green up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Just a bit offline.
Yeah, the hard work's coming up now, though. It's a long way away.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance. Can't birdie them all, Rich.
From about 8 feet. Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Well, too bad. He gives one back. At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the 3 bunkers. 2 on the left, 1 on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. If you find the fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the 3 bunkers that are short of this green. Rich, that tee shot there has shortened up this hole considerably. It's made a tough par 4 into, well, we'll see, but it looks like a very birdieable hole now.
You hit it right where you want. Now he has a good chance to attack that whole location. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
And rolls it in. Nice putt. Now the lone par 5 on the back 9, the 16th, and while you might be thinking birdie here, you may want to think again. What are the options off the tee, Frank?
Well, really, there's only one option, and that's keep it short of that burn, which is 280 yards. So that makes that 540 yards play that much longer.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but he's well on the cards.
Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit. I mean, the skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Wow, I thought he made that. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect. but it's going to hurt the course.
You don't want to make a habit of it. In the bunker again off the tee. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Getting set now over the putt. Drops for a par. Frank, at the 1989 Open Championship, Greg Norman was in great position in that playoff with Mark Calcavecchi, and I believe it was Wayne Grady. What happened to Norman?
Well, he started off tremendous in the playoff. The playoff was 1, 2, 17, and 18. He birdied the first and the second hole. Missed the 17th green just on the left. Took 3 from the edge, which allowed Calcavecchi and Wayne Grady back in. Then took driver up off 18. It bounced just 1 hop too far and found that bunker on the right side. And, of course, the rest was history, and Mark Calcavecchi was crowned the Open champion.
Yeah, the great white sharks so often so unlucky at major championships. Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. Really. This is that awkward length.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
6 over for the day. And that'll do it from the shores of Scotland and historic Royal Troon Golf Club. For EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We'll see